don't build AI agents yet. I know that's probably not what you're hearing online. Everywhere you look, people are talking about autonomous agents, multi-agent systems, computer use, AI employees. Everyone seems to be asking the same question. How do I make AI do everything for me? But I think that's the wrong question. A better question is, can I trust it first? Because most AI failures don't happen because the model is bad. They happen because we give AI responsibilities it hasn't earned yet. Before AI can make decisions, it needs to prove it can make good decisions. And before AI can become an agent, it should become a component. That's the idea behind the AI adoption framework. I covered the full framework in another video, link below. But today we're focusing on level 2, AI as a component. Because this is where most successful AI projects should start. At level 2, AI is not the system. It's just part of the system. The workflow already exists. The business process already exists. People are already doing the work. We're simply inserting AI into one step of that process. Maybe through an API, maybe through RAG, maybe through MCP, maybe through function calling. The workflow remains in control. AI becomes a specialized component. And that's an important distinction because we're not redesigning the business around AI, we're enhancing the business with AI. To understand why that matters, we first need to understand what a workflow actually is. Whenever someone shows me a flow diagram, I usually have the same reaction. What am I looking at? Boxes, arrows, diamonds, loops, and somehow all of this is supposed to represent a business process. After reviewing hundreds of workflows, I've come to a simple conclusion. A workflow is basically a brainstorm session that survived. Every arrow exists because somebody had a problem. Every decision point exists because somebody made a mistake. That's why workflows look messy. But here's the important part. No matter how complicated a workflow becomes, it's built from a very simple pieces. And once you understand those pieces, everything else becomes easier. At its core, every workflow is doing the same thing. Something comes in, something happens, something comes out. Input, action, output. That's it. Let's take a support ticket, for example. A customer submits a request. That's the input. Someone reviews the request. That's the action. The ticket gets approved, rejected, or escalated. That's the output. Now, take thousands of these tiny units and connect them together. That's a workflow. The output of one step becomes the input of the next, and the process keeps moving. Traditionally, the action step was performed by software, business rules, or a human. Today, there's a new option, AI. And that's exactly where level 2 lives. We're not replacing the entire workflow, we're replacing or enhancing one action within the workflow. Before AI, most workflow components were deterministic, which simply means same input, same output, every time. For example, if an invoice is above $1,000, send it for approval. If it's below $1,000, approve automatically. No interpretation, no judgment, just rules. Traditional software loves certainty. And for many business processes, that's exactly what we want. But AI is different. AI is probabilistic. Instead of following a fixed rule, it makes a prediction. Imagine asking, does this customer email sound angry? A traditional system struggles with that question. But AI can read the email and say, there's a high probability this customer is frustrated. Notice what's happening? AI isn't executing a rule. it's making a judgment call. It's making its best guess, and that's incredibly powerful. But it introduces something traditional workflows rarely had to deal with: uncertainty. Sometimes AI will be right, sometimes AI will be wrong. The question is not whether AI makes mistakes. The question is whether the workflow can tolerate those mistakes. And that's why trust becomes the foundation of AI adoption. We don't start by giving AI complete control. We start by giving one responsibility. Then we measure, then we validate, then we build confidence. And only after enough trust has been earned do we move toward greater autonomy. The biggest mistake in AI adoption isn't choosing the wrong model. It's giving AI more responsibility than it has earned. That's why I don't think organizations should start with agents. They should start with trust. One workflow, one decision, one responsibility at a time. Because eventually, if AI keeps proving itself, you stop seeing it as a component. You stop seeing it as a tool. And you start asking a very different question. What if AI ran the workflow itself? That's where things get interesting. That's level 3, AI as an agent.